Now, the final thing that I'll mention in terms of policies, I've already kind of mentioned this, but I'll mention it again because it bears mentioning, especially in an online class right now. You're 25 students, and the only way you've really got to get a hold of me is via email. Now, email is, as much as we think it is, an instant form of communication. I have lots of experiences where I email a colleague of mine across the hall, and it takes up to 7 hours to filter through the server and reach that person's inbox, right? So, I mean, this is somebody right across the hall, right? So it should be understood that email is not an instant form of communication. I'm going to do my absolute best to stay on top of emails and answer each and every one of yours in a timely fashion. But there are two things that I want you to keep in mind. One, these courses, these online courses, have an incredibly high volume of emails associated with them. I'm reading through your discussion forum comments, I'm reading through each and every one of your emails, and even a fast typist will take some time to stay on top of these. Sometimes, this is the first thing, sometimes I have a series of like 8 students asking me the same question. That's enough to tell me that, you know, there are at least another 12 students who have the same question but aren't emailing me about it, or haven't come across the point where that question is relevant in the course to them yet. So from time to time, I, rather than respond to each of those 8 individual emails, I give a blanket response to the entire class. I email you all addressing the questions that were brought up in the individual emails. This isn't me trying to be a bad guy or trying to ignore you. It's just trying to answer in as efficient and timely a manner as possible a question that pertains to everybody. All right, so that I almost guarantee will happen from time to time. And the other thing I want you to keep in mind, I'm going to try my best to direct these emails back to your questions as quickly as possible, but please bear with me. Right, and what's more, it's kind of hard for me. Somebody sends me an email at noon one day and hasn't received a response by 6 that afternoon, so I get another email and then another one the next morning. So that's like 3 emails, and I cycle through them all and I try to respond to them all, but it has me reading a lot of redundant emails. Give me a day or two to respond to your question, and the few of you that have emailed me with regard to this course know that I do get back to you. So now the last thing with regard to email, Oakland University, they're pernickety. They require that all course correspondence occur using oakland.edu accounts. Right? So if you email me from your Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail account, what have you, right? I'm technically not supposed to even respond to those emails. A few of you know that I have, because I haven't even introduced you to the email policy quite yet, but from this point on, please be sure to email me from an Oakland University web address, and I will respond to you from my Oakland University web address. We have a new secretary in the Department of Philosophy who, for some reason, is using my Yahoo account. Also, please do not email me at my Yahoo account, even if you have that address. Just because, well, I won't respond to you, and you'll have hurt feelings, and I'll be annoyed that you're emailing me at my Yahoo account. We don't want any of this, so if we just filter everything through the Oakland account, we are good to go. So, what we've talked about is assessment, course policies, that sort of thing. Now, I should mention that you see, I've emailed you all with a link to the playlist with this welcome video. This is the time when I tell you everything is on Moodle. Right? You'll find regularly posted video lectures on Moodle, links to other video supplements posted to Moodle as well. Sometimes I give you notes and supplements and handouts. Those will be posted to Moodle, and your course assignments will be posted to Moodle and submitted via Moodle back to me. So Moodle is the hub, and if you don't know how to log on to Moodle, it's easy. It's the same way you log on to your email account. It's your user ID and your password. Bada bing, bada boom, you're done. Now, on the syllabus, I have all of your important dates. The first thing you've got due is October 7th. The second thing that you've got due is November 4th, and the third and final exam that you've got due is going to be posted to Moodle on December 2nd and due December 9th. Now, that's something interesting about these exams. They do have due dates, but I'm giving you almost a full week with the material. So I do this partially because I hate these time-sensitive do-or-die kind of exams. So what I want you to do is sit down, think through the questions, and this is sort of a do or learn how to do format. If you've got questions about the questions, I'm here. I can help you. If you've got questions about the questions, the forums are there. The forums can help you. So in other words, you can help yourself. All right? So hopefully that will take any sort of hurt from sort of test anxiety away. I have lots of test anxiety myself, so I find when I have exams like this, that takes the hurt out of it. With regard to your responses to these examinations, I'm looking for sort of a couple of paragraphs in response to each question. What you'll see when I post these exams is that these questions, read them carefully, and you'll notice that they usually ask you to do maybe 2 or 3 things. Right? So 1 or 2 sentence responses are not going to be adequate for these exams. You are going to have a minimum of 5 days to work on these questions, and each one of these questions is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of your final grade. And I expect the weight of your answer and the preparation for these exams to sort of reflect that. All right? So there's no maximum amount that you can write for these. It's just I consider a minimum a couple of paragraphs. A paragraph is technically 3 sentences. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for there. If you scroll down further, what you will have is a sort of a tentative reading schedule. I say tentative because sometimes we get ahead of ourselves, sometimes we fall behind. But nonetheless, the first week is going to be the syllabus, course policy, and overview. In other words, this recording. Next week, there's no reading assignment. What I'm going to do as soon as this is posted is you will see that there's going to be sort of a grainy video lecture on the pre-Socratics. There are notes that I put on a chalkboard behind me. Different room, not in that room anymore, but nonetheless, the notes are a little bit hard to read. If they help you, that's great. They're there just as sort of a supplement, but I discuss everything on the blackboard as well, so if you listen carefully, you should be able to get all of that material. You'll also notice that the quality of my video lectures improves with time. There was a bit of a learning curve with regard to recording these videos. So you'll find that the videos improve as we go on. In your reading schedule, you'll see all of your due dates are listed as well. Now, the last thing, the grading scheme for this course is probably something you're a little bit new with. I've got a letter grade to percentage point conversion, which is what I go from here, so please review it. You'll find it's a little bit different than probably what you're used to from other departments and other professors at Oakland University. What this is just cut and pasted from the University of Windsor website. This is what every Canadian institution I've had any sort of contact with. This is just what I think when I say this is an A, this is a B, this is a C. I want to point out that this makes absolutely no difference because from the Oakland University's Office of the Registrar, they give me a letter grade to 4-point conversion. So an A is an A, a B is a B, a C is a C, and that's what I submit as your final grade. So please email me if you have any questions about this material, and again, welcome.